DynamicCarStore.com to get the cars. Icons, legends aiming at the stars. Hursty at checkout to save your points. Now your bank account won't be staying empty. DynamicCarStore.com. Use code Hursty. Go on.
Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome to another episode of our QPR Career Mode. If you're not all nice and caught up with this series, then go back, check out the playlist, get yourself caught up and then come back and welcome to today's episode. Today we're going to be starting off our first transfer window in the second season, so the first season in the Prem. Now, we've obviously gone through all of our targets in the last video, so again, if you're not all caught up, it will give you an idea of the players that we were looking at. But I'm obviously going to go through the players that we are going to potentially pick up today. Now, that's what we're going to look at. Okay, so looking through all the players that we had shortlisted, I think one of the most important spots for us to fill is definitely the goalkeeper spot. Now, on the majority, people seem fairly okay with me picking up Aaron Ramsdale. I think he's a keeper, obviously, that has gone down with Sheffield United. Very good rating, good young player as well. So we can definitely get up in rating. So I think what the plan will be here is we definitely go in for Aaron Ramsdale, and he will be our first and main target, really, going into this window. A right back would still be fantastic to pick up, and I think if we're going to pick up anyone, I think it's most likely going to be either Walker Peters or Valerie, depending on if we can pick any of them up for slightly cheaper than they're normally going for. Asta would be kind of, I think, semi-pointless. I was hoping he'd be slightly higher rated than he is, but I don't think there's too much point in us actually picking him up for now. Cash, sadly, I think is going to be too much. The centre-backs, I've kind of deterred from going towards, so I'm actually going to get rid of the centre-backs for now, because realistically, I don't think we need to pick up any more centre-backs. We've got plenty of options there. Douglas Luiz, I think, is going to be too much. Otherwise, I'd love to pick him up if I could. He'd be a fantastic pickup. Same with John McGinn. John McGinn is going to be way out of our price range, I'm afraid. I think it was 19 million Sassuolo went in for, and that was rejected, so we're definitely not going to be affording him. I'm still obviously optimistic that in the future we can still try and pick up Eze. It's probably not going to happen this season, however. But the other player I'd like to pick up along with picking up the keeper, I think the other main target is to pick up a striker. Watkins or Ings would be fantastic. Both are going to be a little bit pricey though, and both would be a real problem in us picking them up. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by picking up Ramsdale. We'll get that done now. We'll try and buy Ramsdale. Hopefully they accept some, like, I don't know what I'm going to offer here. I feel like if I just go outright and just offer a transfer fee, and I'm going to offer them 9 mil, just see what they say to that. If he storms out, then we go again in a week and see what he says after that. But okay, yeah, he wasn't happy with that. Okay, we'll come back to that one. Back to that one. I thought maybe he'd come back with maybe like a 14 or so, and we can try and push it down to near a 10, but I'll go back to that one. But Ramsdale's definitely our first target. He's definitely who we're going to go for. So let me just now skip through a week after pissing off Wilder, and we'll go again. Okay, we've had an offer in here for Barbe. Now, Barbe is 28 years old. Realistically, he is going to be a rotation player for us, which is a bit of a shame. Now, I'm actually going to delegate this. I'm going to say 1.7. I don't think we'll get that much for him, but, you know, I'll ask for it. And I'll say 1.25 as a minimum. I don't really want to sell Barbe. In real life, I'm a big fan of what he does, but I am going to probably get rid of him just because he's not going to start for us. We have got the rotation options, so it's a bit of a shame that he's probably going to go, but it is what it is. Let me just clear my emails, and again, we'll try and go back in for Ramsdale if Wilder will actually, you know, answer my calls now. Before we do that, I am going to have a little look at our youth players here. So what I'm going to do is I'm definitely going to call up a lot of these youngsters. So we're going to call up Tiam, we're going to call up Hassini, and we're going to call up Ahmed, and we'll get all of those guys loaned out. I'm also actually going to call up Baka and see if I can get Baka out with a little bit of game time too. I think that'll be helpful for him. I'm gonna release Gavresh. Sorry, mate. I don't think you're ever gonna make it for us, so I will get him released. I'm also gonna release Oliink, is how I'm gonna say that. Sorry if I butchered that name, because I don't think he's ever really gonna play for us. But let's promote these other guys up. Let's try and get them loaned out and try and get them some game time. And just working up in those ratings, because they could be really good for us in the future. We still got the other guy there as well. So let me just go and get those guys loan listed. Sorry, not transfer listed. Let's go get them loan listed. And then again, sorry, we'll go back in for Ramsdale. That will happen, I promise. Okay, we still cannot talk to Ramsdale, but we have had an offer for Liam Kelly from Norwich, one I'm more than willing to accept. I'm going to say 2.3 and then 2.7, or 1.7, sorry, as a minimum. That'd be great. I'll happily sell him. I'm absolutely fine with that. Hopefully we could just get some decent money from it. Again, all this little money sort of slowly but surely coming in is going to be helpful for us going forward. And again, hopefully pushing towards us making 2 pickups here. Now, they've offered Killian Ludwig, not a player I'm overly familiar with. Can I view the exchange? I can view the exchange player. Let's have a little look here. Oh, you know what? That could answer our right back situation quite possibly here. Now, I can't accept this deal until I pick up Ramsdale, because if I sell Lumley and don't get Ramsdale in, then obviously we're in a bit of a stinker. Now, I'm going to ask for more money if I do accept that, but we need to know that Ramsdale's coming in first. So the only reason I would like willingly let Lumley go there is because I know that we've got Ramsdale coming in. So what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to just try and get this across the line, try and get the Ramsdale deal done ASAP. It's, you know, it's been a little while since they've actually let me even speak to him. It's been quite a few weeks. Okay, so Ramsdale, right. So you know what? I'm going to go in a bit more sensible. I'll offer 12.5. I'll see what they say to 12.5. And okay, you know what? I think I'll be sensible here. We're going to just say 13. I think 13 is a safe amount that he's not going to strop off. Okay, so he's putting a sell-on fee there. 10%. We're not paying a 10% sell-on fee there, I don't think. So I'm going to remove the sell-on fee. I'm going to propose a new transfer deal of... I'm going to go up to 16. I know it's nowhere near what he's wanting. 21. I think he's going to be a little bit more than we were expecting here. I think he's going to be a little bit more than I was hoping to pay. But I do think he's going to be a really good pickup. So I'm going to go to 18. If he postpones this, we could be in trouble. Okay, 18. So you know what? I'll take 18. It's more than I was wanting to spend for sure. But I think this could be a really good pickup for us. A keeper that's going to be here for some time. Obviously, if we get him into form, he'll be 80 plus rating just based on form alone for some time. So that's going to be really, really good for us. Crucial. 100%, mate. You're going to be our first team keeper for sure. Let's see. 5 years would be perfect for us. I can't lie to you. So 5 years would be the one. Okay, 5. That's fine. No release clause. 15 grand a week. Okay, we're going to get rid of the bonus. I'll just go with 15 grand a week. That's absolutely fine. Sweet. Perfect. Love that. Ramsdale's coming on a very, 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 very suitable wage for us. That's really helpful for us. 15 grand a week. Plus, that means we can now look to ship off Lumley here. I'm actually going to negotiate. I'm definitely going to take Killian Ludwig. I'm very, very excited about the prospect of that. The fact they've approached me with a player is very, very good. So, I can propose another exchange player. I'm just going to have a little look at who they've got. I'm just going to have a little gander at what options they have. So we could maybe go for this guy, but I like the look of Ludwig. We're gonna keep him possibly in there. Oh, we've got Adeyemi, you know. Do I go for Adeyemi? I don't think they'll say yes to that. So I don't. You know what? We'll be sensible. We'll stick with the player that they've suggested us. We'll stick with the player they've suggested us. But I'm gonna ask for 1.2 mil, which I think is a reasonable offer. I think maybe he'll come back with a little bit less than 1.2. 600. What about 800? 800 and I'll call it, mate. 800 and we'll call it quits. What are you saying? 800? Sweet. 800 plus a right back for Lumley. Obviously, that means Lumley's going the other way. Ludwig can play right and left back, which is fantastic for us. Comes in as a really good rotation option at the right back straight away. Obviously, it means sadly Ozzy Kakai will probably not get as much game time. Absolute channel hero. We'll probably end up selling him out on loan if that is the case. Because I don't really want to sell Ozzy. I'd like to keep Ozzy here the entire time. But I'm really, really happy with the Ramsdale pickup. I think that's a fantastic deal for us. I'm very, very happy with that. Very, very excited. I don't know if I need to go and do a contract negotiation with the right back. Actually, that's something I will double check before I go any further. Do I need to do anything here? Player negotiation. Oh, negotiate. That's for the right back, right? I'm fairly sure this is... Yeah, sweet. Cool. This is good. Okay. So he's on 5 grand a week. So I'm going to offer him a rotation option. See what he says. See what he says to rotation. He's fine with that. Cool. That's great. He's 21 as well. So he will probably overtake Kane at some point. But it's good to have him as that option. So no release clause. Also fine with me. I'm more than willing to accept no release clause. If you could let me know what you want, that'd be great. He hasn't told me what he wants. I'm going to offer him 8. And I'll offer him like 80 grand as well. Is that acceptable? That's reasonable. Sweet. You know what? We'll take that. Big dubs. I don't know if I've maybe ever spent that. That's not the end of the world. I'm not upset with that. We now just have to wait for them to have it agreed with Lumley. And then we've actually made 2 really good pickups there. They've actually worked themselves out quite nicely. I'm really happy with that. Okay, we've had another offer in for Adoma. The last one fell through. This one is from Atlanta, I should say, sorry, in the MLS. So again, hopefully they'll be willing to sign him on. Obviously, he's on a few wages for the age that he is. But like we said in the last one, Adoma is not going to be playing for us anymore. So it makes sense to try and get him gone, I should say, while we can. But we now have Arsenal. We're probably going to play this game. This might be the only game that we actually play in this save. However, we've got a couple of tweaks to the old, what's it called? To the difficulty. We'll get into that now. Okay, so you may or may not be able to see there, we have actually upped the difficulty to Ultimate. Now, this is not something I wanted to do. I do not think I'm going to be any good against Ultimate, but I will definitely give it a try. I'm well aware that last season we absolutely, bossed it. We did really, really well. And maybe the amount of goals and everything we scored was a tad unrealistic. But at the end of the day, I don't think I'm good enough to play Ultimate. I will happily give it a try here, though. I'm going to give it a go. I haven't made any tweaks at any of the settings yet. If I get absolutely thumped here, what I'll do is I'll go down to Legendary and make a couple of tweaks to like the bars or whatever you want to call it for the CPU. So, their shooting's a little bit less inaccurate. Their passing's more accurate. Their keeper ability's up a little bit. Those kind of things. And just, make it a little bit more difficult for myself. But I will happily give a game against Ultimate. I mean, losing against Arsenal I don't think is a bad thing anyway. I don't necessarily go up against a team like Arsenal, especially when they play 5 at the back, for God's sake. But it's the kind of game you would maybe expect to lose a little bit. But you can see we've got a pretty darn good team out here. The strongest team that we possibly can. Ramsdale's going to be making our debut for us here in goal. Obviously, our first Premier League game in a while, old QPR. So let's see how we do. Let's hopefully try and get 3 points. I'd be happy with a point away to Arsenal on ultimate difficulty. Let's go for it. Okay, our first game back in the Prem, or with this series, obviously our first game in the Prem. And we're up against Arsenal. Made some pretty good signings. They've got Sergio Busquets in there. David Luiz is captain there, which is a bit interesting. So they've got 5 at the back, but the 3 centre-backs are, I'm going to say, a tad questionable in regards to personnel. However, it's still Arsenal. Like I've said, and I've said a million times, we are playing an ultimate, which is always going to be a difficulty. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give it my all. Let's just see how we do. Come on, boys. Okay, they're working the ball forward here. They're taking their time, but they are working it forward slowly but surely. They've got Harvey Barnes, I believe, is who they've signed as their left winger there. But obviously, they've got the main man, Aubameyang, up top, which is our main worry and the main person we need to be sort of, primarily scared of. But we've done pretty well to turn that defence into a bit of an attack here. We get the ball to Macaulay Bonne. We're going to get it to Todd. Going to play it up to Dykes. Dykes now. Just going to have to turn around and find Don Ball. Don Ball, we see Dykes making a bit of a run through here. Lyndon Dykes, go on, mate. Oh, good save from Leno. You know what? That's a positive start, boys. More of that, please. Amos on the ball. We're going to look forward and find Dykes. Dykes, oh, can't quite win it, but it does drop back here to Don Ball. Going to just take our time. Todd, back to Ball again. Todd, into Lyndon Dykes. Oh, mate, I'm just struggling to find the space here. If we find the space, we're absolutely laughing. Lyndon Dykes, go on, my man. Nice little turn here. Oh, I can't find the space. We're going to get it to Ellis Todd. Todd's going to try the finesse. It's a good block. Again, 5 at the back is going to be difficult, especially now we're against Prem quality players. It's going to make it harder. Oh, they've won the ball off us high up the pitch here. Willian is bringing this ball forward. He's got Barnes and Aubameyang there. Aubameyang on the ball. Lovely block there. I think that was from Dickey. Lovely stuff, because that was a bit of an issue for us. Don Ball plays it up to Bright Isaiah Samuel. Bright loses possession there in a bit of a stinky spot. And now we've given Barnes a bit of time, a bit of space here to run against us. Can we do anything here? It's a good little interplay between Barnes and Aubameyang. He's going to try and get Willian involved. He has done. Again, they're just knocking it around really nicely. It's really tricky to get the ball off them. They've played it out wide here too. I think that's Tierney. He's got his shirt tucked in, so I'm going to assume it is. Played it back. Come on, boys, get involved. Don't let them get that ball into the box. As soon as it gets into the box in a tricky place, we know we're in trouble. This is the kind of spot we don't need that ball in. Well stepped in from the defender. Oh, I cannot believe we actually conceded there. Tierney makes it 1-0. Kane should really have that ball. Kane really should have had that and got rid of that. I don't really understand how Tierney's done what he's done to win that ball and actually get the shot away. I'm genuinely gutted there, because I think we've actually been playing pretty well. I think we were looking good for the 0-0, but Kane has sort of just turned himself away from that and allowed Tierney to get the shot away. I feel like it's slightly against the run of play, but it's 1-0 to Arsenal, and I feel hard done by. I can't believe I'm saying that. Can we maybe get a bit of a counter here for the end of the first half? No, we can't. The ref's blown it as soon as it hit 45. I thought we'd at least get a minute to try and make that counter-attack, but we're going at half-time 1-0 down. I have to say, I don't think we've been that bad. I think we have been a little bit hard done by here. It's been a very, very tricky first game, obviously coming back into the Prem, but I don't think we've played particularly badly. Now, what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and keep things fairly similar, but I'm going to go to the 4-4-2 flat. So our 2 midfielders are playing at CMs instead of CDMs, just to give us a bit more, I don't know, a bit less of a gap between the defence and the midfield. Now, it does mean Don Ball is going to be playing on a -1, which is a bit of a shame. It is a bit of a stinker, but I'm going to sort my tactics out very quickly, and we'll go from there. But again, I don't think we've played badly. I just think we've been a little bit unlucky with actually getting the chances where we've deserved them, because realistically, we haven't played badly at all. It's just been that they have, they've attacked pretty well, and they've got themselves in my opinion, a bit of a lucky chance to actually score. So it is what it is. Hopefully we can get back into the game. Hopefully we can continue to keep the pressure up against Arsenal, and hopefully we can get the goal that I do think we deserve. But second half, it's 1-0. Let's see if we can get back into this one, because I think we've played well enough to do so. They've worked the ball really nice forward here. They got it to Aubameyang. He's played it off to El Neni, who shielded that ball away from, I think that's Luke Amos. He's trying his best to get back in there. Good block there from Carter Vickers to stop the shot from Aubameyang, because again, if Aubameyang's shooting, who knows where that's going to go. That could fly in the top corner from wherever he's at. So good stuff eventually there from us to get that ball out of there. And maybe we can try and convert defence into attack here. Oh, Ellis Todd has stopped his run. The ball wasn't particularly great, but Todd could have been away if he'd kept his run up there. Get the ball forward here. We're going to try and play Macaulay Bonne through. Bonne is ahead of David Luiz here. Macaulay Bonne, can he be our first goal scorer in the Premier League? Yes, he can. Macaulay Bonne makes it 1-1. Not the man I was expecting to get our first goal in the Premier League, but he's done so and got us back into it. And I have to say, we have definitely worked well for this. We've definitely looked good for this. We've kept them relatively quiet. Again, I did not expect to be scoring against Ultimate. I have to say, thank you to everyone who suggested playing to it, because I'm really glad I've given it a go, because actually we've played way better than I considered. So thank you to everyone who suggested that. Thank you for sticking with me, and hopefully we can prove that actually maybe Ultimate is where we can play our career mode this time round, and we can keep it there. Macaulay Bonne doing really, really well to make it 1-1. I have to say, moving those players into that like CMs instead of CDMs, I do think made a bit of a difference there. I'm very, very happy that has worked out. And again, just helped us against that 5 at the back, because realistically, we should boss these guys in the midfield with the numbers we've got there. But as soon as we get into that attack, we were going to be a little bit short-numbered. But we've done very, very well. Got ourselves back into it. It is 1-1. Let's just keep our heads, boys. Keep our heads. Amos here, starting a little bit of a counter-attack. We're going to play it down to Dunball. We see the space here for Brightside Samuel, because Tierney is all the way up in the attack there. Now, Brightside Samuel, can he make it 2? I've not pressed the button I wanted to. I didn't press the right button. I wanted to shoot and I've passed it. I've just instinctively gone for a sweat. I've absolutely bottled that. I can't believe it. Okay, 15 minutes left on the clock here. We've made a couple of changes. We've brought on 2 youngsters. Kelman is coming on for the goal scorer, Bonne. And we're also bringing on Pepe Ars for, I forgot who was taken off. Don Ball, I think, was going off. So they've also made a change. Guendouzi's gone off. I didn't see who came on. I wasn't paying attention. They brought on Torreira. Okay, interesting. To be fair, pretty much a like-for-like sub here. But Ars obviously is a little bit more like attacking minded than Dunball is. So again, hopefully a bit of creation from the midfield, especially if I'm going to do things like that. Hopefully we can do a bit better next time. But fresh legs in the midfield as well, and obviously the pace of Kelman coming on and hopefully making a bit of a difference as a striker. I was slightly tempted to move Bright to striker for the rest of the game, but I quite like his pace out wide, especially if Tierney is going to be getting forward like this, which we do need to be careful about. We do need to keep him out here. Dickie's done well, but Dickie is now massively out of position, and Aubameyang is up against Carter Vickers. Oh, well done. Pepe Ars getting back there. I was saying Pepe Ars coming on for his attacking ability, but he's done well getting back and defending there. Thankfully, that does go wide. We get a goal kick. Ellis Todd on the ball now. We see Kelman up against David Luiz. I rate my chances against that like one-on-one there. However, David Luiz just kind of stood in the way of Kelman. He couldn't get past him on that initial run through, and he would have had the beating of him for like pace, I think, at least. But now this is probably going to be the last chance of the game. Just want to remind everyone that they blew the whistle when I tried to play a little over the ball there. But there we go, full time. I have to say 1-1 away at Arsenal for the first game of the season is not a bad result at all. You can see the Arsenal fans are not happy at all, but I'm absolutely chuffed with that. Very, very happy with that result. We honestly were the better side as well. I think if anyone was to come away with the win there, I think it would have been us. I have to say, I think we were the better team. But a silly chance to concede. Kane should have done better with that defence against Tierney for that first goal, so I'm not overly pleased with that. But you can see relatively even stats. I have to say, we played really well. Really impressed with the boys. Good start to the season, if you ask me. Okay, so as you can see, that obviously is the first game of the season. So as being intent is, you know, pinch of salt and all that stuff. So I have to say I'm very, very impressed with that. Again, the talks have broken down, which is a bit of an issue. However, the sale of Lumley has gone through, which means we also do pick up Killian Ludwig, which I'm very, very happy with. I do have to say I'm very, very happy with that indeed. Potentially a loan offer here for Bradley Morgan for him to go on loan. I will happily accept that. Again, I don't want it a loan to buy, though. How do I do this? Somebody said to me, if I go to delegate, loan, so just a loan, so not with an option to buy. Sweet. Somebody did say that I could do that. So thank you, of course, everyone who suggested that, because again, I was a little bit confused at how that works. So I can just say type of deal, loan, so no purchase offer. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone who told me that in the comment section over the previous couple of videos. So thank you very, very much indeed. I am also very quickly going to go and loan list Aussie, purely because I don't think Aussie's going to get as much game time if we've got Ludwig coming in as well, who is 67 rated. 21 years of age as well, so he's a little bit younger than Kane, but not too many ratings behind him. So realistically, I think that's going to be a really good pickup for us long term, and I think Ludwig is going to be a player that could potentially go ahead for us in the Career for a little bit longer. I'm not entirely sure what his potential is. I'll have a look at that for the next one. But what I want to ask you guys right now, we have currently got £12 million to spend. We've got £12 million. I would like to pick up a striker. I think having another striker in there, I know Bond did just score, but I don't think Bond is going to be our long-term option. I would love to have Lyndon Dykes and Kelman, but Kelman's rating is still not there, so he's going to come on, playing cup games, come on in substitution like appearances and stuff while we're going through as well. But I would like to pick up a striker. Now, I want someone who's at least minimum 74 rating to come and bring into the team. There was one player that obviously I did have a little bit of a look at, and that is Adeyemi, who is 72 rated, but I'm going to shortlist him and have him properly scouted. So he doesn't hit the 74 rating that I was literally just talking about. So if I pick him up, that's obviously a little bit hypocritical. As I said, I would like somebody who's at least 74. I'm not overly fussed about them having to be, you know, huge potential in the future, this and the other. But I don't really want to pick someone up who's going to be like 30. Let's say Sam Baldock was 74 rated. I don't really want to pick someone up who's quite that old. I'd like to pick up somebody who's at least going to do me a couple of seasons. Now, I could go for Ben Brereton, but, you know, we bought him a couple of times in QPR Career Mode, so let's be honest with you. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know who you think we could potentially pick up. It doesn't have to be from the Championship. I am going to scout Tyrese Campbell because he's a hell of a player. But, again, you know, I was looking at players like we had the option of Ings, we had Watkins, but they're just going to be a little bit out of price range. Do you think maybe we sell a couple of people and then try and bring in someone like Ings or someone like Watkins? Because, obviously, at the moment, they're currently in the Championship. Realistically, is Ings going to stay in the Championship? No. Realistically, is Watkins going to stay in the Championship? Also, no. I don't see either of those guys staying down in the Championship, if you want to know my honest opinion. So let me know your thoughts on who I could and or should potentially pick up. I would like it to be somebody that can, you know, fit into our first team. You know, Ollie McBurney maybe. Ollie McBurney's not necessarily an awful shout. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm not going to be picking anyone up in this episode right now. Again, I'm kind of just looking through the Championship because I looked at the teams that got relegated, but I didn't necessarily look through the entire Championship. And maybe I could and or should have done that previously. Just, again, as ideas, just some people that would be cool to sign. I'd love to sign Ivan Toney, but he's at Brentford right now, and I don't think that'd be overly realistic. Obviously, Watkins ex-Brentford, but he's not there right now, so I think slightly more realistic for us to potentially pick him up. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Danny Welbeck, I mean, it's a maybe. But that is going to be where we end today's episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series as well. I have to say, I'm very impressed with the boys, and I'm actually a little bit impressed with myself, the fact I managed to play Ultimate. I was not expecting to be able to do so, but we've managed to do it. But guys, thank you again for all of your help. Without the help in the comment section and in the streams and stuff, I wouldn't have been able to make the changes I did and, you know, basically learn how to improve this series for you guys. So thank you so much. It really is appreciated. Make sure you leave a like on the video to let me know you're enjoying it. Obviously, comment down below to let me know any changes you want me to make, obviously ideas for signings, etc, etc, and obviously sub to the channel if you're new, turn on notifications to be told anytime that we upload a video or indeed go live with a live stream. For now guys, I want to say a massive thank you for watching. I've been Tom, you guys are awesome, and I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands.
Nah, his name is Hursty. Slap bald head, yeah, it'll probably hurt me. Bang top bins, it'll probably hurt you. Ginger, streamer, platform, YouTube. Drop a name in the chat, or say hello. Entertain, yeah, you already know. Capital H, yeah, I'm a read it slow. Hursty games, yeah, you already know.